Hello, dear viewers, and welcome to Hidden Korea. Tonight, we bring you a story that has left the entire nation in awe, a revelation that no one saw coming. After years of silence, rumors, and quiet glances in the public eye, Kim Woo-bin and Shin Min-ah have finally revealed the truth that stuns all of Seoul, their secret wedding and their first child. What really happened behind those closed doors? Why did the couple choose this exact moment to step into the light? Stay with us, because what you're about to see will change everything you thought you knew about them. Let's begin, right now. The city of Seoul had never known silence like this. Beats that usually pulsed with a rhythm of life fell eerily quiet as one headline consumed every screen, every phone. Every whisper. Kim Woo-bin and Shin Min-ah finally revealed their hidden wedding and first child. At first, people thought it was another rumor, another baseless story from a gossip column desperate for clicks. But then came the photos. Real ones. A quiet ceremony under the canopy of cherry blossoms in Jeju Island. Attended by only a handful of people whose faces were blurred. Their identities unknown. In one frame, Kim Woo-bin stood beside Shin Min-ah, her hand resting gently on a small cradle draped in white lace. It wasn't a movie scene. It was their life, and Seoul stood still. But the truth didn't begin there. It began 2 years earlier, when both stars vanished from the spotlight. Official statements said health recovery and personal projects. In reality, it was a disappearance cloaked in secrecy. No public appearances, no social media, no brand deals, just silence. Fans speculated, media hinted, but their trail led to nowhere. Behind the calm, something extraordinary was unfolding. Kim Woo-bin, after battling illness and surviving the darkest period of his life, had found something worth more than fame, peace. And Shin Min-ah, who had stood by him when the world turned cold, was carrying a secret of her own. They had fallen deeper in love. Not in front of cameras, but in the quiet spaces between breaths. They exchanged vows in private, no lights, no applause. Just two trembling voices promising forever. Their wedding took place in a small chapel hidden deep in the mountains near Gangwon province. The witnesses were few, a childhood friend, an old mentor, and the sound of rain tapping against stained glass. But even as they began their secret life, the world outside began to whisper. Paparazzi drones captured fleeting images, a shadow of a ring on Shin Min-ah's hand. Kim Woo-bin buying baby clothes late at night. A hidden villa with tinted windows. Agencies denied everything. Yet the denials only fueled suspicion. Months passed, and then, she vanished too. No brand campaigns, no drama shoots. The entertainment world moved on. But the mystery lingered like perfume in an empty room. Then, late one night, a reporter received an anonymous message. If you want a real story, look beyond Seoul. What followed was a trail of breadcrumbs that led to Jeju, a coastal villa surrounded by cliffs and guarded by silence. Locals whispered about a kind couple from the mainland who bought the property under fake names. They lived quietly, rarely seen. But sometimes the laughter of a woman and the faint cries of a baby drifted through the sea breeze. Inside that villa, Kim Woo-bin held his newborn child for the first time. His eyes, once fierce and determined on screen, softened into disbelief. He looks like you, he whispered to Shin Min-ah, who smiled through tears. No, she said. He looks like us. But happiness, in their world, was fragile. Rumors soon resurfaced. Tabloids published sightings, claiming secret weddings, secret babies, secret betrayals. The couple's friends denied everything, but one insider, under anonymity, said they just wanted to live without being watched. Then, everything exploded. One day, a video appeared on an anonymous online forum, grainy, shaky footage of a wedding altar surrounded by flowers. The faces were blurred, but the silhouettes were unmistakable. Within hours, the video went viral. Comments flooded in. It has to be. Why did they hide it? Did they betray their fans? And just like that, the illusion of peace shattered. The media storm was relentless. Every outlet hunted for answers. For proof, for statements. Porters camped outside every known residence. Friends were interrogated, agencies panicked. But the couple remained silent, until one night. A single notification appeared on Shin Min-ah's official social media page. It was a black and white photo. A wedding band. Baby's hand clutching an adult finger. And one caption that broke the internet. We didn't hide love. We protected it. The word spread faster than any wildfire. Within minutes, Seoul was ablaze with emotion, shock, frustration, disbelief, tears. The perfect couple, tons of grace and endurance, had secretly built a life the world knew nothing about. The story was far from over, because with that confession came the awakening of forces they had long tried to escape, the betrayal of trust, the pressure of fame, and a past that refused to stay buried. As dawn broke over the city, a new mystery began to unfold, one that would test not just their love, but everything they believed in. The world had barely caught its breath when the second wave hit. The morning after their revelation, a series of leaked documents flooded the media, legal papers, property records, and a cryptic report from an unknown source titled The Hidden Contract. At first, people thought it was fake. Buried within those files were the names of sponsors, action companies, and a clause that mentioned both Kim Woo-bin and Shin Min-ah, long before their relationship became public. It hinted at something darker, a prearranged contract between their agencies to preserve market value and stage a relationship for career recovery. It was supposed to be a marketing story, a love that healed the nation. But what if it had been orchestrated all along? Social media exploded. Was it all fake? Did they trick us? The questions burned through the internet like fire. And yet, amidst the chaos, neither of them said a word. Inside their Jeju villa, who turned grim. The once serene home now buzzed with phone calls, threats, sleepless nights. They're turning our love into conspiracy. N.R. whispered, staring out the window as flashbulbs flickered from distant boats on the shore. Woo-bin clenched his jaw, his phone vibrating with another message from an unknown number. You can't run from what started as a lie. He threw the phone aside. His reflection fractured in the glass. It wasn't a lie. Not to us. But the more they tried to protect their truth, the more the world twisted it. News anchors debated their morality. Fans demanded apologies. Agencies scrambled to contain the fallout. One network even aired a special investigation, showing behind-the-scenes footage of their first commercial together, framing every gesture as calculated. Still, the couple stood united. Until the night of the storm. It was close to midnight when lightning struck the coast, plunging their villa into darkness. The child cried from the nursery as thunder rattled the windows. Bin rushed to comfort him while Shin Min-ah lit candles, her hands trembling. Then, a noise outside. Footsteps. The wind. Deliberate. Heavy. Woo-bin grabbed a flashlight and moved toward the door. Stay inside, he told her. She nodded, clutching their son to her chest. The door creaked open to reveal two men in dark coats, faces obscured by hoods. One of them stepped forward and handed him a sealed envelope before disappearing into the rain without a word. Inside was a single photo, a picture from their wedding, taken from an angle no guest could have captured. On the back, written in red ink, were 4 words. Always finds you. That night, sleep never came. By morning, lines had turned once again. Hidden witness emerges, mystery guests speak out, the secret behind the secret wedding. The world didn't want their love story, it wanted their downfall. Days later, Shin Min-ah appeared in public for the first time, dressed in white. Her expression calm but her eyes defiant. Cameras flashed as she faced the press. You want the truth, she said softly. The truth is simple. We fell in love when we weren't supposed to. We hid it because love isn't meant to be consumed, it's meant to be lived. And now that the world knows, we have nothing left to hide. Her words silenced the room. For a moment, flashing lights paused. Then applause, hesitant at first, then thunderous. Where, in the shadows of the crowd, someone watched, a figure holding another envelope, marked with the same red ink. A journalist later claimed it contained evidence that could change everything again. No one ever saw what was inside. The envelope vanished. The source disappeared. And just like that, the storm quieted. Months later, the couple moved abroad, no press, no announcements, no social media. Only one photo surfaced, the family walking through a quiet street in Paris, their child between them, smiling under the morning sun. And though Seoul still buzzed with stories and theories, one thing became clear, they had finally escaped. Because sometimes, the most shocking truth isn't the secret itself, it's the courage it takes to live it. And somewhere far from the cameras, a world finally quiet, Kim Woo-bin and Shin Min-a's love became what it was always meant to be: real, fragile, and beautifully human. And so, as the lights of Seoul returned to their usual glow, the story of Kim Woo-bin and Shin Min-a fades not as a scandal, but as a testament to love's power to endure even when the world turns it into spectacle. They did not owe anyone an explanation. What they built was never for applause. It was for themselves, for their child, and for the quiet promise whispered between two souls who had seen both fame and fear, and chose love anyway. Perhaps the world will never know the full truth, and maybe that's the beauty of it. Because in a place obsessed with perfection, their imperfect truth was the most human story of all. Thank you, dear viewers, for joining us tonight. This story touched your heart. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to Hidden Korea, where we bring you the unseen, the untold, and the unforgettable stories behind the stars. Till next time, stay curious, stay kind. Never stop looking beyond the spotlight.